I haven't heard anything different.
Well, good. Glad to hear that.
Yeah, you'll be the first to
They're
know.
live.
Cool. Well, good evening, everyone at home. I guess we're all home at this point, but this is a joint meeting between the Select Board, Planning Board, and Envision Berwick. It's been a while since we've done one of these, but this is a great opportunity for us to get together, brainstorm ideas, and think about our challenges and opportunities together as we have overlapping goals. I figure there are some new faces here for different board members. So now would be a great time to do introductions. And I'll start. My name is James. I'm the town manager. And if you could share what got you involved with Berwick and maybe a goal you have for the future, that'd be great too. I got involved 10 years ago, and I know that's a good opportunity with a tannery. And I'm excited about all the goals, to be honest with you. We got a lot going for us. So in the name of order, and so people know who's going, I can call on you folks and just give a little brief introduction for everybody. So I'll start with the top left of my screen, and that is Jeremy.
Hi, everybody. I'm Jeremy. I'm the chair of Envision Berwick, and I also probably have COVID right now, just to keep it live and exciting. I got involved, and I'm not kidding. I got involved, I don't know, about 5 years ago now, right when I got here. I think I met James through Ruth Blue, who in the early days of setting up setting the stage for Bring Your Lawn Chairs to Sullivan Square. And I got involved in the beginning of the concert series. And at the same time, joined Envision, was part of the excitement with the rebranding. They sort of got rolled into one, and have been chair of Envision for about a year now, and have I will say, for a time of a pandemic, I think we've accomplished some pretty big things in the last year, and I'm really excited about what's to come, specifically next summer's relaunch of the outdoor concert series, Bring Your Lawn Chairs to Sullivan Square, which hopefully we'll all be able to join in the same space and have fun together again. I think we could all use it. And I love Berwick, and I love working with all of you guys. I have really just great experiences with everybody I interact with who's interested in seeing things happen and getting things done. It's fun. I have a great time. So that's it. Back to you, James.
We're lucky to have you as chair. You really picked up the baton and sprinted with it. So thank you.
Absolutely.
All right, next I have Mike LaRue.
Hi, yep, I'm Mike LaRue. I am the new chair of the planning board. I was just voted in last meeting.
Congratulations and condolences.
Yes, thank you. I've been on the planning board for about 4 years now. And I've just wanted to help have a say, and that's basically all I'm trying to do. So
Perfect. Mike?
I love how Jeremy skips over trying to pronounce my name. That's awesome. So, or James. Sorry, James. Looking at Jeremy. I'm looking at Jeremy's screen as I do this. So, for those that don't know me, I'm starting to actually finally put faces and names together. But I'm Mike Letter. I'm one of the select board members. My family's been in town for about 9 years and volunteering with some of the youth sports and the library, Girl Scouts. I'm sure some of you've seen Sarah running all over the place. And actually, I popped on a few Envision Berwick meetings early last year and wanted to get involved that way, and then saw the select board opening and kind of just ran with it that way. And Tom, Linda, Noah, the rest of the board's been great with getting me involved, and just the same thing. There's a lot of growth coming to town, and trying to be a part of it in any way that me and my family can help out. So that's all I got. And James, I'll give it back to you on that way too. So
Perfect. Marie?
I'm Marie, and Dan is here too. He's also on Envision Berwick. He's just around the corner, but he is listening in. We have been on Envision Berwick for about 2.5 years. And it's been just such a wonderful group of people and just really wonderful to do a lot of things around town. I've gotten to meet so many different small businesses and business owners through, I do a lot of the social media stuff with Elise. And so it's been really fun just to get around town and just meet all the amazing business owners in town and take pictures of our beautiful town. And I love Berwick, and it's been so fun to be on Envision Berwick. So, and Dan says hi. He's he's on it too. He's saying hi.
Hi.
Not loudly. Okay, there he is.
I used to do the social media, and I thought I knew what I was doing, and Marie's and Elise is taking it to the next level. So thank you for what you're doing.
It's really fun.
I got Jerry next.
Yes, hello, I'm Jerry Graybill. I'm a member of the planning board. I've been on the board for about 1.5 years. I've been a resident of Berwick for about 32 years now. And I joined just, to help, use my background to help the town.
Been great having the engineering background on the planning board, and Jerry and Allison Graybill have been big contributors to the comprehensive plan committee as well. So.
Yep. Allison's sitting right here listening too. So
yeah, Allison's the all-star right now for the comp plan. Up next, I got Tom Wright.
Hey, everybody, I'm Tom Wright, is chairman of the Board of Selectmen. I'm currently in my 8th year as in the board at the time. I have one more year in this term. I'm a lifelong resident of Berwick. I've lived here all my life. My family grew up here. I have 8 brothers and sisters, and 7 of us still live in Berwick. So our family has made a commitment to stay in Berwick and to do our best at what we can. I've served 2 terms in the state legislature in the past. I served my first term as a selectman back in the mid-90s, in 1995 to 98. I was involved much more in Envision Berwick in the beginning, as James and Serena and Jessica were really involved, and we got going there. As I said, my family's made a commitment to Berwick. We're lifelong residents, as my children and grandchildren are in Berwick now. So we just want to make sure that things keep in a progression and moving forward. As I don't know how many of you were in town 12 or 15 years ago, but Berwick went through some pretty rough times. We're tearing ourselves apart, and we were lucky that when I got back on the Board of Selectmen, we had a good board formed. We had people that stayed on and helped steer us in the direction. And as I said, with the Envision Berwick, we really saw that things were going in the right direction, and we just want to make sure that it keeps going that way. So back to you, James.
Absolutely. Thanks, Tom. Next up, Linda.
Hi, I'm Linda Corliss. Like Mike, I'm one of the new select board members. And like Tom, I am a lifelong resident of Berwick, and I do have an extensive family here in Berwick. I've been on the Historical Society Committee for many, many years. I don't know the exact, but again, same thing. I really saw some changes that were occurring. And I see the next generation in my family, and even the one after that, who want to live and grow in Berwick. And I think there's a lot of potential here with things that are going on, and I just want to be a part of some of those changes. So I decided to throw my hat in the ring and see what I could offer to folks.
Yeah, I just want to add that Mike and Linda have been tremendous assets to the board. They're just coming up on their first year, finishing their first year. And we're coming up into the budget season, so that's going to be a real education. But they've been a real asset. They bring a lot to the board. They ask a lot of good questions, and I really appreciate having them there.
Thank you.
And I second that. Up next is Paul.
Good evening. Nice to be here tonight. I'm on the planning board with Michael's new planning board. And I've been about an 18-year resident of Berwick. I also am first vice commander of the American Legion post in Berwick, and kind of got my feet wet with a lot of community service through our organization for veterans and for the town. So that's been really important to me. I started going to planning board meetings because there were some issues that I was particularly interested in and wanted my voice heard, understood how the process works more and more as we got into it. And when the opportunity arose, I threw my hat in the ring, and fortunately the Board of Selectmen said, "You're on." So it's been quite a good time for me being part of this, and have a great affection for the town of Berwick, and plan to be here until they find a plot for me. So in any case, great to meet you all and to be with you.
Awesome. Thanks, Paul. Allison?
Hello, I'm Allie. So I'm the newly appointed secretary for the planning board. I have a title now. And I got involved about 2 years ago when I moved to Berwick with my family. I think I got involved first with Envision Berwick, and that's how I found out about the opening for the planning board. And then kind of between those two things, I'm very passionate about small town government, democracy, and things like that. So we kind of led a spin-off group of Berwick Votes to try to get information out to the town, because I just feel like we have such a great, like, tight-knit community, and that communication between everyone is so good. So yeah, I'm just trying to get volunteers like everyone else. And yeah, it's been really fun.
Awesome. Thanks. Elise?
Hey everyone, I'm Elise Weeks, and I've been here in Berwick for about 10 years. Yeah, we moved in 2011. We were in Rollinsford before that. And I got involved in Envision Berwick just kind of tangentially through doing branding work. We worked on the rebrand for the town a couple of years ago. So Serena and James kind of helped me get more involved. And just through that process, just really was excited about what was going on with Envision Berwick, and became an official member. I guess it was over a year now. I don't remember when that vote happened, but yeah, it's been wonderful. Just, you know, such good people here, such interesting businesses. It's been really nice to kind of learn about more about town government and how all of that works. And I have a 8-year-old daughter who's in the school system here, and we plan to live here, you know, until we downsize at some point, but we're here for the long haul. So yeah, it's just really exciting to see all the things that are happening and be involved in the kind of little mini marketing committee that's part of Envision Berwick. Just there's so many ideas. There's, you know, it's very encouraging to see when people have fun ideas that we can actually make stuff happen. I think I love that energy that's here. And yeah, just kind of excited to be here and be part of moving things in a good direction, but also kind of preserving the things about our small, charming town that make it great, and, you know, kind of open farmland and stuff like that. Don't want to see that go away. So we're really passionate about keeping, you know, signage have a certain vibe, and just keeps all the cohesive branding and Yeah, just it's a special place here. So I'm excited to be part of this group. So thank you.
We're excited to have you. Amber, you're up next.
Hi, I'm Amber. I've lived in Berwick for a little over 20 years, I think about 23 now. Graduated from Noble, now I'm raising my kids here. And I joined the planning board about a year ago. It's just been really great to learn a little bit more about the town and watch the transformation. I'm just happy to be a part of the process and work with all of you people. Yeah.
Perfect. Thanks. Tammy, we're just doing introductions on, what brought you to Berwick and a little bit about yourself, if you don't mind. You're muted at the moment, so I can ask you to unmute. Let's see. There we go.
All right, there we go. I came to Berwick when I saw the planning job offered, and I've been here since November 8th. It's been the craziest 2.5 months because the planning board is so busy. But I've enjoyed it immensely, working with both the zoning board of appeals and the planning board members. It's been great. I'm getting to know the Envision Berwick crew, and I'm looking forward to moving forward with a lot of the projects, especially the one outside my window.
Exactly. We'll get into that a little bit later, but right now is typically an off season for the planning department, and it is not, and that's a good thing. It's a good problem. It's a good challenge to have. So I got up next, and last and certainly not least, I have Noah Cobb.
Oh, gee, thanks. I'm Noah Cobb. I am currently the vice chair of the select board. I've been in town now for 7 years, which feels like a lifetime, really. Well, I started with I started getting involved in local politics because I didn't like certain elections and how they went. In 2018, I ran for state rep and did not succeed at that attempt. And then the next year, I ran for the select board and succeeded at that. And I'm still running that currently, that first term. So I'm up for re-election this year. We'll see what happens there. But I just love being involved and love trying to help the town and contribute to my community.
Absolutely. Yeah, we're lucky to have you. Lucky to have the board and the way it's constituted. And thank you all for being here, and thank you for the introductions. I'll get into for updates that I have. There's a lot of things. I mean, there's a lot going on. There's been a lot going on for quite a while now. A lot of good stuff. As Tom mentioned, we're right in the middle of budget season, and I'll invite you to ask questions. Send me an email. Call me if you got questions on how the budgets work. You'll see over the next few weeks, select board meetings, we'll be presenting the budget and going over changes, why things are changing, what's going up, what's going down. And the goal is excellent services, continue our excellent services, making sure our capital investments are being made and we're staying on top of our buildings and our vehicles. And equally, and I think it's a three-legged stool, and that third part is making sure our tax rate is stable and affordable for our community. So that's the piece on the budget. Again, ask if you got any questions on the process, just give me a call. One of the projects we have going on for capital is we started a building committee for the town hall. Town hall has a lot of needs. We just fixed some of our sewer pipes in the town hall. We've got some drainage issues. We've got storage needs. We've got office needs. We have a committee that just formed. We have department heads, staff, and a couple of select board members. Cyrus from Envision Berwick is on it, and we're inviting members of the community to just help us. We've started with a list of projects, and we're going to be working on prioritizing them and coming up with a plan for the short to long term. Tom, is there anything you wanted to add on that project?
Yeah, I'd like to add a little bit on that. Back to the budget is, we're hoping that we don't have any huge increases this year. We have a lot of fixed costs that we need to look at, salaries and things like that, contracts that we need to fulfill. So a lot of that's fixed in there. And as James said, we're looking at the long term. And the town hall is one of our top priorities, I feel. James said we had a meeting last week with the building committee. We're going to have is somebody from Great Falls Construction come by, but on Thursday, is it, James?
Yep, Thursday, yep.
So to walk through with us and discuss some of the things we're looking at. The things we're looking at mostly is, one is securing the building envelope. There's a lot of water infiltration, a lot of moisture. When they redid the roof, a few years back, they took all the gutters off and didn't replace them. So that's causing a lot of water issues inside. Also, the building itself needs to be sealed. So those are things that we're looking at in the near term. Major expenses we're looking at is ADA accessibility. And that includes not only, accessibility to the building, but also to all the floors in the building, and also redoing all the restrooms to make them all ADA accessible and everything. And that's going to be a rather pricey thing, we have a feeling, but so. And then, as James said, there's a lot of needs that we hiring new people. We're getting, we are growing. As the community, is wants and demands more services. So, we have to try to, fulfill those needs. And so we're looking at, reconfiguring how the town hall itself is set up. One of the things, and I think actually it was Linda's idea last week, is get somebody like WB Mason in there to do a walkthrough of the building and see where we might be able to utilize existing space better with updating file cabinets, desks, and things like that. So, but and then also in the long term for the town is, we realize that there's a lot that going on, especially with the edge going in now. But is the people are demanding more services, whether it's a recreation or new sidewalks. So we're looking at all that also. Yeah.
Great. Thanks, Tom. So I'll turn it over to Tammy for planning department, planning board update. You don't have to go into specifics about the projects because there's a planning board quorum here, but if you just go over the general, what types of projects are you seeing, and how many applications do you have?
Well, the number of applications is we have 9 applications right now waiting to have a decision made on them. We have 2 public hearings coming up on February 3rd. One is for the Edge and the other one's for Enzo Benzo Specialty Donuts. We have an expansion of a pre-approved subdivision. The House of Hope Rec Center is up for review right now, and I'm hoping to get them in hopefully by the second meeting in February. We also have a 26 lot subdivision going in. That's going to be a big one to be able to do. There's also another solar array going in, and they're going to have the rotating collectors, for lack of a better term. I'll learn my terms here by the time I meet again with you. So it's really, really getting busy. And we had someone email us today wanting to know if they could go on Commercial Drive with a pallet business. They want to repair pallets and send them back out for use. So, that's another one that's kind of sitting in the wings.
Awesome. Thanks, Tammy. One of the projects that Phil Roy initiated is he sent me a couple social media policy updates, and I actually took a crack at working on some of the language. I haven't sent it out yet, but I will send it out when I'm back in the office. Some of the language on there about decorum online and thinking about the presence and the messaging that we have and making sure that it's a unified message and we're getting out the right messaging out there. And I think that's a good segue to Envision Berwick, and they're all about messaging. And Jeremy, I'll turn it over to you, my friend.
Well, yeah, no, that's true. In fact, we just met with James, Elise, Marie, and I, and we definitely have, I think, a strength as very involved members in Envision, and that's that we care deeply about. I mean, I hate it. It sounds so trashy, right, to call a town a brand, and I mean, it's not. It's our town. It's where we live. It's where I'm raising my kids. So I don't want to like, when you use terms like that, it's kind of reductive and icky. But it is also true that we deeply believe that aesthetics matter, and that, our lovely signs that Elise designed and that the town has since started putting up, that they make a difference, that perception changes people's feelings, and that if we want economic growth in the right ways, and there's nothing against subdivisions, but if we're hoping that people bring businesses here with employees that to drive those economic opportunities, positioning Berwick is in part making sure that, like you said, that we're consistent with our messaging, that we have that we're touting what we love about Berwick, and that we genuinely believe is worth touting. That we're not selling it out or claiming it's not. It is charming, and all you have to do is go to Hackmatack's farm stand in the summer to be like, oh my God, this is amazing. It's incredibly special. And there's dozens of things like that here. And we want to preserve that stuff, and making that part of the branding at large is very important. I'm curious, and I'd love to hear more about the sort of that online messaging and like that. Will that be something that you put out to all departments, or how does that work, James?
It would be an updated policy for staff, boards, and committees.
Cool. I think that's great. I think it's really important. I mean, we think consistency and thinking about those things is really important. One of the things Elise said early on when she came on was we noticed that a lot of departments are sort of siloed, and that drawing all the departments together, whether it's library and police and fire and all of us are all part of a system that is our town. And we do hope to continue to cinch that together. We've put out 3 issues of the Berwick Quarterly. The 4th issue will be the spring issue, and then we're gonna probably take a moratorium on it, because it's I think it's been, as a proof of concept, really phenomenal, but we haven't yet found a way to do it without it being a huge lift. But we think the messaging is really important. So we're going to continue to look for ways to make that, work in the future. We have lawn chairs, as I mentioned earlier. James and I have started the early stages of gearing up for that and having really great conversations related to that. As you said, Tammy, Marie, and Cyrus and I have a subcommittee. Maybe Marie, do you want to take that and talk about the signage? Is now the time to do that, James? I just want to give Marie the pleasure of saying out loud on the call the name of the subcommittee. We have we've been doing a thing with Envision where, as we form subcommittees, we let people name them, because that's part of the fun, right? That's how we ended up with the Hackett. What was it? The Hackett Back.
Hackett Backpack was the
Hackett Backpack when we were doing the cleanup last summer. So, Marie.
All right, so for the Ace of Base, I saw the sign committee. We have been working on gathering. Yes, I did name that one. If you're familiar with Ace of Base, it's
Is
a
this
wonderful
1996 all over again?
song. Is it 96? I was gonna say like 1990.
I
Is it
was in third
96?
grade singing that song. So yeah, it was like 1996.
96. All right. Well, I was thinking it was earlier than that, but a 96 hit. Which Cyrus loves. It's his favorite song. So I'm glad we have this recorded right now. You should see him when you put on Ace of Base. I saw the sign. So we gathered some, we looked at the land use ordinance for the signs in Berwick, and we kind of gathered from a few other towns just to put a little more language in, to really keep, if you look around Berwick, so many people have these really nice signs. Almost none of them are internally illuminated. They're all externally illuminated. Nothing moves, nothing, waves. And so just kind of keeping that feel in Berwick so that someone can't come, like putting some in the language that, Dunkin' Donuts can't come in and put their giant light up sign in, or not, just as an example, but any big business, a light up sign that's going to be on 24/7, and just kind of just putting a little more language in there for moving signs, blinking lights, flashing, and just to kind of keep that feel we already have here, and also some restrictions on how long the lights can be on. So they're not on 24/7. They're on, 7 to, I think we added in 7 to 11, unless the business is open longer than that or before that. Do you want me to do any more specifics? I can, or is that a pretty good overview?
I think it covers it. I mean, we sort of put it together with the Cyrus, and wrote up what we thought we could help bolster, and that's now with Tammy. And so I assume at some point we'll be going before you all and talking about this more. But yeah, I mean, the idea is just to make sure that we're starting to think about this stuff as businesses come in and stuff's going to change, and looking at towns that have done a great job of bringing in businesses that drive a town forward, and towns that maybe haven't had as much forethought, and we're trying to have some forethought before things shift dramatically.
And if I can just ask something about the signage, I know that we have ordinances, relating to the dark skies and things like that. Is there anything in the signage language, talking about dark skies and blocking the light from the radiating above? Or
I don't know that there is, but it's a good point.
Yeah, there was nothing in the land use ordinance, and we didn't add anything in, but that's a good point.
It just for an example, if you go to the live feeds for Berwick Community Media, they have the downtown feed and the edge feed. If you go on them right now and you look at the difference in the lights, from where there's nothing at the edge yet, but it's just the street lights along Sullivan Street. Everything is low key, whereas on the Sullivan Square with all the business lights and the building lights and everything is just a really glaring view. Yeah. So, I think that's something that we need to look at.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Absolutely.
I think a good town to look at for signage. I've driven through Portsmouth late at night, and it's just always just very calm and low key, and just
that's actually who we pulled from. Portsmouth, Freeport, and Sturbridge all have fairly rigid sign regulations.
And I've driven through places in the South where there, neon signs all night long, just buzzing away, just like light up a town for miles, just for no point, no use, and just, and that Ace of Base song was 1992.
Yeah, 1992. Thank you for fact checking. And yeah, so, and just like one more little follow-up is we looked at, I'm sure a lot of people on here probably know about, I'm going to say the town wrong because I'm always saying it wrong, but the McDonald's that's in Freeport,
Yeah.
Freeport, because of their strict regulations, you would never know that that is a McDonald's. So not that I want a big chain to come here, but if one were to, there'd be regulations so that it would, you wouldn't know what it was. It wouldn't be this huge golden arch.
That's what we hope, right? At least they can't have, if this all passes, right? We're encouraging them to not take the out of the box from the warehouse sign and put it up, but have to get the more expensive one that's not plastic and lit up from inside or whatever.
It's just a comment on the McDonald's in Freeport. That was fought over for probably a decade, and I believe it went through the Maine Supreme Court, actually.
Oh, wow.
So it was, that was a tough fight.
We should be so lucky.
Yeah.
And for everyone watching, this is the process to get amendments to our land use ordinance. I mean, you can work with Tammy, the planner, and initiate or go to the planning board. What Envision Berwick did here is they work with Tammy, and they brought some language that they wanted to see. Tammy's helped already reformat it a bit, and it'll be presented to the planning board. The planning board really has the first major revisions at it. They'll take a look at it, and a lot of times when I was a planner, I'd bring stuff forward and they go, no way. Or they go, and you kind of go, okay, well, forget about that. Or you go, yeah, let's work on this. And then it gets revised over the next couple of months. Then it goes in front of the select board, and kind of the same thing happens where it's this, what is this? Why is this there? Maybe we need to revisit this, or yeah, this makes sense. So you'll see the next process, kind of like the budget, where it kind of runs on a similar track where this is just a germination in the beginning of it that will take shape over time. Yeah, well, so thank you. Thank you, Envision Berwick, for all you're doing. Last thing I have on the agenda is a quick comprehensive plan update. The latest draft can be found on the Google Doc if you click that link. It's also on the government tab. If you go to comprehensive plan, anytime there's significant updates, that link will be the latest draft. We're working on chapter 1 is Berwick's heritage. It's our history. We're working on the narrative, that part. There's some really interesting nuggets in there. Chapter 2 and 3 are about open space, farming, natural resources. So feedback, it's always welcome. Participation is always encouraged. More hands we have on it, the more people can help chip away at it. Next meeting is February 10th, and it's on Zoom. So it's a relatively light.
One more thing?
Yeah, go ahead.
I just wanted to say that I love, look, we've been doing this for a couple of years, meeting over Zoom, and it's not ideal and it's nobody's favorite, but I actually think that this format where we're all meeting up and exchanging ideas, I'd love to see us do this more. I think it's so good. And for at least for us, for Envision, like being able to have all of you guys here and articulate these things that we've been talking about and that are important to us, and that we're sort of getting, feedback from the town about what's important and trying to make that happen. And it keeps us all connected, and it gives us an opportunity to, articulate ideas and bounce stuff around. I hope we do this more.
That's my next discussion point. It'd be nice to do this quarterly. I think we can pencil it in on our calendar for May 3rd. And if there's not much on the agenda, we can push the meeting back a little bit, but really try to do this at least two to four times a year. I think quarterly would be a nice goal to have. And any ideas for discussion topics, just reach out to me. I'll put out a Google Doc and we can add stuff to it.
Yeah, James, your comment about, if there's not a lot going on, we can push it off. There's always a lot going on.
Yeah.
And this group of people always seems to find more to go on, so quarterly is a good thing, we had started it before, then COVID hit and it's just been real crazy as we all know. But we're adapting. I'd just like to go back to talk about planning, but also Envision is in one of my pet peeves in Berwick is sidewalks. Anybody that's been involved with the planning board over this last several years has seen me several times down there talking about sidewalks, and is we have things on the book in planning on the ordinances about subdivisions in sidewalks, but for too many reasons they're always given waivers and they're not required to build sidewalks, or they're not required to invest in the sidewalks we have. So I think that's something that we really need to look at, is not just new sidewalks, but repairing the existing sidewalks that we have. James, familiar with the organization Strong Towns, and any of you that aren't, look that up. Is they talk about walkability in towns and how it really drives the whole flavor of the town. So I think that's something that we need to really concentrate on.
Absolutely. Yeah, it's something that Tammy and I can revive is looking at the language for sidewalks and the sidewalk funds, and make the sidewalk plan for our downtown well known to developers that this is our plan that we have. Yeah. Is there anyone else have any last parting thoughts or topics?
I just want to say thanks to everybody. This has been great. I think, as I said, I think we have plenty of topics that we can meet quarterly, and James, just keep on top of us all and remind us, and we'll keep this up.
Awesome. You got it. All right. See you.
Have a good night, everybody.
Good
Feel
night.
better, James.
Good night.
Thanks,
Have a good
everyone.
evening.
Bye.